Hello and welcome to part 90. In this video, we will see how we can resolve deadlocks. And this video is continuation of part 89, where we have seen how a deadlock can occur when we are working with a multi-threading application. And if you have not watched part 89, then I would recommend please watch part 89 and then come back to this video. Let's recap what happened in the last video. We had two threads, thread 1 and thread 2, and thread 1 acquired lock on resource 1. Okay, and similarly thread 2 acquired lock on resource 2. Till now we were fine, but what happened after that? Thread 1 was trying to acquire lock on resource 2. So this is what thread 1 was trying to do, and similarly thread 2 was also trying to acquire lock on resource 1. So this is a cyclic dependencies. Both of these threads are waiting for the resource which is already locked by someone. That's why both are going to the deadlock state and both of the threads are not able to complete their work. Let's see in this video how we can resolve this. Okay, so this was the program that we have written, and if you remember here from our demo class, we were invoking manager one dot perform transaction and we were executing it on thread 1, and then we were executing manager dot perform transaction on manager 2 and we were invoking that on thread 2, and both of them were running in parallel, right? And if I run my program as it is, you will notice we are in deadlock state, because here if you see here, thread 2 was trying to acquire lock on resource 102, right? I mean the account 102, and then it has successfully acquired that lock on 102, and then it slept for 1 second, right? Similarly, thread 1 was also running in parallel and it was trying to acquire lock on resource 1. That was done, and it has acquired lock successfully on resource 1 here, and then it also went to sleep. And after 1 second, both of the threads will come out of sleep. That's why we are seeing message here, thread 1 woke up from sleep and trying to acquire lock on 102. Similarly, thread 2 is trying to acquire lock on 101, but both of these accounts or the resources are already locked by the threads. If you notice here, what is happening here, both of these threads are trying to acquire lock on different account at a different time. Meaning thread 2 is first trying to acquire lock on account 102 and thread 1 is trying to acquire lock on 101 at start. So the sequence is not in sync. The sequence in which we are locking the resources is not same for thread 1 and thread 2. That's why we are going into the deadlock state. In this video, we will see how we can resolve this deadlock so that thread 1 and thread 2 can complete their transactions. Let's do one more thing. In our bank transaction manager class, once the transaction is done, let's print transaction completed by thread dot current thread dot thread name. Okay, and if I run my program as it is, you will notice we will never print this line because none of the threads are able to complete their task. Okay, let's see how we can resolve this deadlock by locking the resource in the same order. So what I will do, instead of hard coding from account here, let me create a variable bank account and call it account to be locked. Okay, so what we are doing, we are checking if from account is greater than the two accounts. So we are first checking the account numbers, and whatever account number is greater than that we will be locking. So instead of directly hard coding from account here, I will use account to be locked. Okay, and again I will remove this hard coding also. I will not directly say which account to be locked here. Let's create one more variable and call it account to be locked later, and let's set that account to be locked later equal to account here, and account to be locked later equal to from account here. to account here. Let's replace it with account to be locked later. Okay. So what we have done, instead of we deciding which account to be locked, we have written this logic here. It means whichever account number is greater, that will be locked first, and whichever account number is smaller, that will be locked later. By doing this, we can make sure we are locking the resources in the same way. So thread 1 and thread 2 will try to lock the resources in the same order. Let's run the program and see what is the output we are getting now. Before running the program, let's change the account number size also so that we can see the correct result. So once we have acquired lock on account to be locked, let's print that which account we have locked. And let's put this line above here and let's change from account to be locked here. Okay. And now if I try to run my program now, you can see here our transactions are completed and main thread is also completed. So we have successfully resolved the deadlock here. Let's understand what happened this time. First, thread 1 came and it was trying to acquire lock on account 102. Right, because 102 is greater than account 101. That's what we have specified here. Whichever account number is greater, on that account we will put a lock first. Okay, so it has successfully acquired lock on 102 because it was not locked by any other thread, and then it went for sleep for 1 second. Okay, and if you see here, thread 2 is also trying to acquire lock on 102. Okay, you see here this sequence. First we have locked 102. Thread 1 also trying to acquire 102. Thread 2 is also trying to acquire lock on 102. Because of this, thread 2 will be waiting because account 102 is already locked by thread 1. But what will happen later this stage when thread 1 will woke up from sleep and try to acquire lock on 101, because 101 resource is free and not locked by any other resource, thread 1 will be able to successfully acquire lock on 101. And after that, thread 1 will complete the transaction because thread 1 has acquired lock on account 101 and it has also acquired lock on account 102 also. And if you see here, after the transaction is completed by thread 1, thread 2 is also able to acquire lock on account 102. So if you see here, thread 2 was trying to acquire lock on 102 here and it was waiting for 102 to get free, and here 102 was free. That's why thread 2 was able to acquire lock on 102 here, right? Then it went for sleep for 1 second and then thread 2 will wake up and it will try acquire lock on 101. Both 102 and 101 are successfully locked by thread 2. That's why thread 2 will be able to complete the transaction and we will see main thread completed. So here we have changed the sequence in which we were trying to lock the resources, and by making that change we have successfully resolved the deadlock issue here. And that's it for this video. In the next video we will continue our discussion on multi-threading.